Hello Virgo friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Virgo July 2021 Astrology Must Knows. Definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com and check out my long list of free goodies that you get. With every month I have more goodies for you, and that's your interface with all of the stuff that I do. You don't want to miss anything that I make for you. Also, if you would like to be a professional astrologer or incorporate astrology into your work in some way, or just expand your knowledge for your hobby and your love of it, you will love my Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery course. If you think I go into lots of details in my videos and podcasts and other resources, you will be blown away by the comprehensive nature of my course, which you can see at my school, lumelife.com, L-U-M-E, life.com. So what is going on this month? We always have a lot to talk about. There are always layers and layers of details that make this juicy experience, and I'm going to give you a bunch of must-knows. 2 admin notes to make the most of this video. One is that this is for you if Virgo is your moon sign, your rising, your sun, your Mercury, your Mars, your Venus, anything that you watch for. You can run a free birth chart online, just search for how to do that. And you can see more about your chart. And the more you know about your chart, the more you can utilize the resources that I and others make for you. The second thing is that if you're a late degree Virgo placement, so we'll say the birthday around September 13th or so through the rest of the sign, and the later in September you are, or the later degree you have, the more this is true, I highly recommend that you additionally watch my Libra video or podcast, and you might want to do the same for other astrologers as well, especially those of you in the very late degree Virgo placements, because you will definitely get pieces from the Libra reading. So I recommend the Virgo and Libra readings for you all. Okay, so what do we have going on? The first major must know that I'm very, very excited about as we come out of the shadow of Mercury retrograde and we are exiting the heat of eclipse season. Both of these factors will make it more prime time for us to make big decisions and have the clarity we need to do that. And that momentum that might have seemed like it stalled a bit in May and June will start to come back in a big way as we open one of the most open star periods of the whole year. So from around July 7th through around September 7th, so that's most of July, all of August, and early September is the big time for big decisions where you can see more than a foot in front of you, where you can plan more than a day ahead, and that is very exciting. More things that are very well supported during this brilliant launch period from around July 7th through around September 8th are engagements, weddings, big parties, travel, major plans, big agreements, major expensive purchases, redesign, redecorating, anything having to do with agreements, starting new businesses, adding different divisions onto businesses, looking for jobs, finding jobs, changing work, anything bold, anything important, moving, like your physical house where you live, your housing, selling houses, buying houses, anything like that, investing, all of those types of things are the things that are amazing to do in this brilliant launch period from around July 7th through around September 8th, kind of those dates in there. So basically most of July, all of August, and the first part of September is just free flow in the stars. Another must know about July 2021 for Virgos is that we are likely going to have some afterquakes from those May and June eclipses. Now those angles might have hit kind of hard for Virgos, and you might have had life-changing news. Not to say that there couldn't have been good experiences or wonderful things mixed in, but there's definitely pressure, and there's definitely a challenge that comes with whatever things are coming in at this time, even if it's a good challenge. Like, let's say you wanted to move and now you're moving, but the awkwardness of the actual transition could be that little sticking point. So you might see more news come in here, and you might be in July, and you might be able to implement the information that you got in May and June from those eclipse related changes. If you are not familiar with the eclipses or the experiences or the areas of life that have been accentuated for Virgos, I highly recommend you watch my May and June reports for your sun, for Virgo, and the late degrees, of course, also for Libra, because in those videos I go way into details about this particular eclipse cycle, the dates when they happened before, what areas of life are being accentuated, and the storylines that will continue through the rest of 2021 into early 2022 from those eclipse cycles. Okay, so the next major must know is that Jupiter is still in retrograde, and Jupiter is going to be still having some energy in Pisces, and this is very notable. So we're going to talk about two different must-knows. One, where Jupiter's at, what it's been doing, where it's flavoring with dipping into Pisces, what that means, and some specific dates and angles that are specific for Virgo placements. Okay, so the first thing to know is that Jupiter moving through Aquarius has not been at the best angle for Virgo placements. So that's the predominance of 2021. But Virgo in Pisces is a more, from an elemental standpoint, being in a water sign is easier for Virgo placements being an earth sign. Now there's a caveat to that because Pisces is in opposition to Virgo. So this is a very, like Pisces and Jupiter combining is a very life-changing, momentous time for Virgo placements because big changes to your personal relationships and your being and how you present yourself in the world and the things that you want and how you're known, and all of your relationships are going to be undergoing radical change. So you might start really seeing that at this time. And those of you who are in the early degree placement, so basically August born and the earlier in the sign, like the closer to 2 degrees you are, so basically like August 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, especially, you're going to be feeling this most strongly at this time because of the direct opposition energies that are going on for you. But everyone, all Virgo placements are going to have the chance to feel the spirit of this change within yourself and change within your relationships. And all of this is going to come back in a big way from the end of December through around May 10th. Okay, so this storyline of how you do relationships and your relationship with yourself is undergoing just a massive transformation. And a lot of this is going to come from how you see yourself. Many Virgo people, all the Virgo people that I know, regardless of where their placements are in Virgo, are caretakers for other people or animals or other, stewards of land or stewards of something, and are also, really, really concerned about like feeling like being helpful. Like your relationship with helping others is very much what's under scrutiny at this point. Part of it, very big part of it's going to be how you are perceiving that experience and how it is affecting you personally. So the issue of codependency is going to come up in a big way. And the process of trying to separate who you are from this caretaking role is going to be very, very major must know at this time. And this can be very direct and obvious, or this can be very subtle, happening on the deeper layers of your being. But many Virgo people they define themselves, who they are and what they do in the world is defined by what they're doing for others. And that's, of course, a very beautiful, wonderful, I call Virgo energies the Mother Teresa energies. It's very altruistic. But there have been some costs to this service that you've been giving others, and breaking that down and redoing that is part of what the theme is coming up now that is going to be getting looked at again, for the first part of 2022. So you're kind of getting either a whisper into it if for the September born, and kind of a crash course in it for the August born. So this is, it's going to be a big deal. But don't be afraid of it. This is the universe trying to help you enrich your relationships, improve your relationship with yourself, take care of your health, take care of your well-being, understand your empathic and sensitive nature, and that will allow you to show up even more for others. A lot of it's also going to center around getting help from others and delegating and not doing as much on your own. And a lot of this is going to come from strategy. Many Virgos are very much into just the brute work it takes. Like, that has to be done, I will go do that work. But now there's going to be a stronger focus on the strategy around the work needs to be done. I don't necessarily have to do all of it. and what systems can I put in place where the outcome is being met, but my time is also being honored. Right there is a major must know, and that's the theme of what's going to be happening. Okay, so Jupiter has been very strongly accentuating your 6th house and will continue to do that energetically, which is the pets and the animals and the health and the wellness and your organization and all of these things. So Jupiter in its angle and Jupiter in its placement are all telling the same story of restructuring your systems to make them more workable and sustainable for you and those you help. Okay, so the next must know is that we've got Pluto oppositions and more salty aspects than sweet ones this month. And when that happens, it really shows up. We feel it in the form of resistance. Now, 2 things to know about this must know. One is that I'm giving you some highlights about certain aspects, but if you want a list of all of the notable aspects of the month, what they are, the dates they happen, sweet and salty list, what you can expect from them, definitely sign up for my free email newsletter at anniehelpsyou.com, because I give a very comprehensive write-up a month early delivered into your inbox. And so if you like those details like most Virgos do, then you will definitely benefit from that. Now, the second must know about this is that there will be resistance coming up with these aspects. People sometimes dread the energy of resistance or a difficult angle. I'm a Sagittarian optimist, so I don't dread them. And I want to encourage you to not dread them. Difficult angles of things can give us the impetus that we need to make necessary change. And this is a time when that can happen. Now, a nice visual that I'm giving on this topic. The energy of resistance with the laws of physics can be very positive when we look at it from that perspective. So for instance, tires have more resistance on the road when they can grip the road better. There's that tighter connection than a bald tire, for instance. And when there's a bald tire, things are kind of sloppy. They're all over the place. The fuel is less efficient. We can't stay straight, especially in bad weather. And so having that grip on the road, that resistance enhanced, we can go faster, we can have better fuel mileage, etc. So the energy of resistance is not actually a bad thing from the perspective of physics. It's actually can be a positive thing. Now, of course, too much resistance, like in the form of bumps in the road, can, interfere with those things and can be like work the other way. But when we frame it, the energy of resistance can help us to get to our goals better. And if you've got goals you want to get to, you can use this for that. Okay, so that's a yay, and that's a must know. Another must know about this month is that we have a lot of energy in Cancer. And Cancer is a water sign which flows well with the Virgo energy. So in that way, it's positive. The kisses from Cancer at this time can give you extra boosts with networking, with your friendships, with your social circles, with anything with online pursuits or social media. You've got some extra help there. So if you have opportunities that come up, then definitely take advantage of them. And in some cases, the opportunities can come from taking a break from those things, where you change your relationship with those things or are positively adjusting your relationships with your friends or your social circles. But things like networking are very, very strongly being brought into the arena for Virgos, and there can be lots of opportunities there because of the angle that's being made for you. It is the angle of opportunity. These are types of opportunities that you have to do something with, okay? So like a friend might say, hey, I want to introduce you to this person, but then you actually have to take the person's number, connect with them, etc. So this presentation in that field of experience is going to come in the form of ingredients on your counter, not in the delivery of a cooked meal. It's like, here's the stuff, now do something with it, okay? And Virgos are very good at that, so that's not a problem. Now, there could be some obstacles that come in the 12th house as the planets are moving through Leo. We've got a very strong showing of Leo. Let's talk about some very positive yay things about the Leo movements this month, and then we'll talk about some specific ways you'll have to work with that energy to get at the goals. The first thing that there is to celebrate, well, let me just paint the scene here. Obviously, the sun will get into Leo later in the month. Through most of the month of July, Venus and Mars are moving together in the sign of Leo. They're very close proximity. Venus and Mars don't move together very often, only every couple of years. And they don't move together in Leo it's even more rare. All right, so the energies of Leos for all signs are going to be accentuated. So here are some boosts. Fashion, being seen, appearance of anything, your leadership skills, trying to get out in front of people and be seen. If you're an actor or, an athlete, or you have an Instagram account or something where you're trying to be seen more, you have a gift. If you're a singer, like something that you have that's a gift that you're trying to present can be enhanced. Also, the odds of hidden gifts being revealed, especially for Virgos because of the house that these planets are moving through. The chance for hidden gifts to be figured out are very greatly boosted. And so in order to find these hidden gifts, you might actually have to do something that you don't usually do. So there is some very strong impetus and a major must-know for Virgo if you've been wanting to take a class for knitting or for acting or for anything, any kind of hobby, anything like that. You might actually have to do something with it. This is a theme that we started to talk about for you, okay? But you might discover something hidden in there that wants to come out, that through doing something different can open that up for you. Okay, anything having to do with children or having children or working with kids or bucket list stuff, as I like to call it. So things you've always wanted to do or turning your hobbies into work, all of that has a chance to be strongly accentuated at this time. Now, specifically for Virgo, the Leo energies crowd your 12th house. And when your 12th house is crowded, this starts to bring a lot of attention to the inner workings of your mind. And this energy gets stronger the closer it gets to your birthday. It happens to be getting extra boosts now, but so you're kind of going to have an extended period of time, July and August, of really having this subconscious mind activated now. Some things you can see from that: more vivid dreams, breakthroughs with your spiritual or psychological world. Like, for instance, you might have an instant awareness of how someone that's annoying you and the way that they do things, that maybe you're doing that in some other context in your life, and the awareness of the fact that someone that you're at odds with and something that you're doing in some other context can instantly karmically clear up things. This is a major time when we're around eclipse time and we're still, at the end of the eclipse season here. Awarenesses of the way that you are doing something and how it's affecting someone else, having a likeness to someone seemingly doing something to you or doing something that bothers you, those types of things can burn up karma immediately and change your experience for the better from now on. So the chances for Virgos to be experiencing that are very high. And the more you're searching for things like that, the more you will find them. And if you are a person that wants to do some deep searching, I highly recommend you get the book called Marriage of Spirit. And you can just skip right to the second section and do the written spiritual exercises. And you'll see what I mean by this. If you get it, it can definitely help you clear out karma in a major way. And the reason we want to clear out negative karma is because it negatively affects our daily experience, our perceptions, and our experience of life. So the more you clear that stuff out, the better. Some other things that have been hidden might start to be elucidated. This can be family history, ancestry. This can be a deep dive into how your genetics are affecting your life through patterns, through disease states. And while we're on the topic, if you start to feel like you are doomed by your genes, don't. Just start studying the work of people like Bruce Lipton and epigenetics, and understand how genes are important factors to our experience, but they're not the most important factor, and how you can focus on the most important factors is the whole point of the study of epigenetics. So those are the types of things that Virgos might really benefit from diving deep into at this time. And you may just have a spontaneous healing or a spontaneous awareness like, wow, how my partner makes me feel is the same way my parents made me feel. Maybe there's some work to do with healing from childhood that can help my current relationship. Things like that, where those dots start to connect in ways that can be very meaningful and improve your life. Okay, let's see what else. So in general, this energy of fire with the Leo energies and Cancer with the water coming together can be like this pot coming to a boil. while fire and water energies don't always mix in the easiest ways and can counteract each other, it can be very productive when used the right way, like a water in a pot, where if you put water right on the fire, you know, it's going to douse the fire. But if the fire goes under the water and rolls it into steam, you can make tea, you can make that, energy exchange with the water converting into steam. That is something that you can use at this time. So the potential for actions converted into outcomes are increased significantly now. Okay, so the last must know I want to talk about has to do with some water and earth kisses. Special dates that Virgos can see some extra boosts, and I'll drill it down even into the degree and birth date. And remember, you get a more detailed list of these when you sign up for my free email newsletter at anniehelpsyou.com. Okay, so the first kiss we have for Virgo placements is in the days around July 9th, and this is the new moon in Cancer. So whenever anything happens in water, it makes this favorable angle for your earth placement. So all Virgo placements have extra boosts for anything having to do with Cancer energies. So homes, housing, real estate, moves, family, anything like that. And all of you can feel that, but the closer you are to 18 degrees, the more you are likely to get a kiss from that. So 18 degrees, we'll say that's like September 10th, the days around September 10th, so we'll say September 5th through September 15th, and the closer to around the 10th, the more of a kiss. And if you're looking for your degrees, then 18 degrees is the exact. So if you're looking at the degrees, between 13 degrees and 23 degrees will be most affected positively by this new moon, and the closer to 18 degrees, the more direct of the contact. Okay, so the next kiss we've got is in the days around July 12th, and that's when Mercury and Jupiter make the most favorable aspect in all of astrology, and that happens at 1 degree of Pisces, and well, of water, we'll say. And so that for the early degree placement, so we'll say the August born, but the closer you are to like the 23rd of August, or the first 5 degrees or so of the sign, the more you'll be positively impacted by that news of expansion or growth or luck. Okay, but everybody can feel it, but those of you in that designation will have that more. In the days around July 15th through the 16th, there's a kiss, a dreamy kiss between the Sun and Neptune that can bring even more spiritual breakthroughs or boost to creativity, creative projects, or just romantic, easy flow or important synchronicities. And everyone can feel that in the days around July 15th to 16th, or even before and after. But those of you near 23 degrees, so we'll say that's like around September 13th, 14th, or like September 8th through September 18th, and the closer you are to the 13th or 14th, the more intense. And then if we're looking at the degree perspective, it'll be like 18 degrees through 28 degrees, and the closer to 23 degrees, that's the exact aspect. Then on July 20th, we've got a surprise kiss from Uranus with Mercury. And this is can bring sudden insights where a puzzle piece just gets put together of something you've been working on, a problem or a situation, where just the last piece comes in, or information comes in that clarifies a mystery or something else you've been working on. So everyone can feel that, but especially around 14 degrees. So that is like the days around September 4th. So we'll say like August 31st, through September 9th, and the closer to the 4th, the most intense. And then the last one, in the days around July 24th, then there's another kiss with Neptune, so dreamy, channeled information, psychic perceptions, something having to do with a family member or a beloved person coming to visit in a dream, or some kind of energy of an ethereal awareness. Or some other psychological breakthrough, and that can happen for anyone in the days around July 24th, but the closer to 22 degrees, so that's around 17 degrees through 27 degrees, the closer to 22 degrees, the more intense. And for the birthdays, we'll say that's around September 13th or so And then so like September 5th through September 25th, and the closer to the days around the 13th, the more intense that will be. If you would like even more information about the starry opportunities ahead, then definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com and sign up for my free email newsletter list. I only send out a few emails a month, and they are all chock full of how you can make the most of the starry opportunities. Plus, you get all kinds of other VIP freebies and extra exclusive things by being a member of my email list. Since most of the work I do for you is free, it's hard to sometimes keep track of everything I do. I do have information when you click on the More button on this video, or if you're listening to the podcast version, in the notes underneath the podcast, you can connect in with all of these free things I do, the podcast, the videos, the blogs, the interviews, and all kinds of goodies. And now at anniehelpsyou.com, right on the front page, I have a better organized list of all of these resources, so you can check that monthly and be taking advantage of all the things I do for you. If you would like to be an astrologer as your profession, make sure that you go to lumelife.com, L-U-M-E, life.com, my school, Luminous Life Multiversity. You will find free courses there as well, and you will find my paid courses. And one of the paid courses is this astrology program, Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery course. If you think I put a lot of details into my free offerings, you should see what I do in my paid offerings. It's really, really, really comprehensive. So I can definitely teach you everything you need to know to be a successful professional astrologer, earning money for your love for astrology. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.